I found a note inside my lunch bag that said, "Please stop pretending you don't see me." At first, I thought it was a joke. By evening, I was crying in a hospital hallway over a woman whose name I barely knew. I worked reception at a small dental clinic, and every day I brought lunch in the same blue bag. That Monday, I was irritated before 9 a.m. My rent was due, my sister needed money, and my manager kept saying, "Smile at patients," like my life wasn't quietly falling apart. At lunch, I opened my bag and saw a folded note on my food. I thought my coworker Nina put it there, but when I opened it, my stomach tightened. "Please stop pretending you don't see me." No name, no explanation. I looked around. Nina was on her phone. My manager was stirring soup. Nobody looked suspicious. I forced a laugh. "Very funny. Who did this?" Nina looked up. "Did what?" I showed her the note. Her face changed. "That's not funny." For the rest of the day, I felt watched. That evening, I noticed an old woman sitting outside. Gray coat, plastic shopping bag, same bench near the bus stop. I had seen her before, almost every week. She always sat quietly. I never spoke to her, because I was busy, because I was tired, because people become background if they sit still long enough. As I walked past, she smiled weakly. For some reason, I stopped. "Did you put a note in my lunch bag?" She looked confused. "My dear, I don't even know your lunch bag." I felt stupid. "Sorry." I started walking away. Then she said, "But you do see me now." I turned back. She wasn't accusing me. She sounded sad. I asked if she was waiting for a bus. She shook her head. "I wait here because my son used to work in that building." Her name was Margaret. Her son died 5 years earlier after an accident at work. Since then, she came there because it made her feel close to him. I didn't know what to say, so I said the usual useless words. "I'm sorry." The next day, I brought her tea. Then the next week, I sat beside her. Soon I started looking for her without admitting it. Margaret became part of my routine. She asked about my job. I complained about rent. She told me how loneliness makes time move strangely. Then one Friday, she didn't come. I told myself it was nothing. Monday, she still wasn't there. By Wednesday, I felt uneasy. I asked the security guard if he knew where she lived. He gave me a nearby building name. I went after work, embarrassed for caring so much about someone I barely knew. A neighbor opened the door. "Margaret?" The woman sighed. "She was taken to hospital 2 days ago." My chest dropped. At the hospital, I found Margaret alone near the window. She looked smaller than I remembered. When she saw me, her eyes filled with tears. "You came." I sat beside her and held her hand. That was when I learned the truth. She didn't write the note. The security guard did. He had watched me walk past Margaret for months. Watched everyone walk past her. Then one day, he slipped the note into my lunch bag when I left it at the front desk. At first, I was angry. Then I understood. The note didn't expose Margaret. It exposed me. I had been so trapped inside my own problems that I stopped noticing pain. Sitting right in front of me, Margaret passed away 3 weeks later. At her funeral, the security guard handed me her plastic shopping bag. Inside was a knitted scarf and a note. It said, "Thank you for seeing me before I disappeared." I still keep that scarf in my closet. Now, whenever I pass someone sitting alone, I don't always know what to do, but I look, because sometimes being seen is the last kindness someone receives. If this story got you thinking, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to DreamAct Stories. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done? See you in the next story.